Three. How's it going today?
Good, man. Really good.
And you just finished playing. Awesome set.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
How's it feel to be back?
Feels great. Great to be back in LA, and especially here, the Gibson Amphitheater. Great venue. And
definitely. We saw you when you rolled through with Scorpions.
Oh, right on.
That was the first time hearing you, and that was just like awesome, man.
Right on. That was a fun show.
Instant fan.
Cool, man.
So on tour with Dream Theater and Opeth.
And don't forget Between the Buried and Me.
Between the Buried and Me, which are on right now.
Yep. They're all such great bands. We just feel honored to be a part of this thing, and just the opportunity. It's great. And it's the first run of Progressive Nation, and we're gonna make the most of it.
Definitely. So how did you guys get to be on this tour?
I think a lot of it had to do with Mike Portnoy, the drummer of Dream Theater. He's been a fan of the band for a while now, and he kind of spearheaded the whole concept of Progressive Nation. It's really his baby, and he had the bands in mind that he wanted on this bill, and to have 4 bands in a package, progressive music like this, it takes a lot of work. So he pushed to make this thing happen, and all I can say is that I really appreciate the opportunity. So
awesome. So you guys just put out a new album. Recently came out in January, I believe.
Yep.
How's that going so far?
Good. We're it's a building process, and we've just reached about 10,000 records sold, which nowadays it really means something.
Mm-hmm.
It means if it was back in the 90s, that would probably be 50,000 records.
Right.
Or more. So
it's getting good fan response?
Yeah, great response, and we're building a fan base.
Awesome. So how does that album differ from the stuff that you've done previously?
Each of our records is unique because we're in the moment, and we're not formulaic in the sense of we create an identity and then have to exist within that. It's more about just being ourselves and going with the inspiration in the moment. So each record has a unique identity, and this time around I kind of felt like I wanted the record to have a more organic sort of quality to it. So because a lot of bands will go into the studio and it's like, oh, suddenly everyone's separated and they're not in the same room together, and it's that's not what they're used to doing.
Right.
So suddenly it's like you're out of your element. It's awkward. It's not.
Drums are recorded in California and guitars are in New Orleans or whatever.
So my thought was, let's get used to a recording situation so that we go into that situation and it feels like being at home. So we can just get performances and have it really reflect our personality and have that kind of an organic quality. So very little editing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was we set up a recording studio in our rehearsal space, and basically we tracked all the songs on our own first, to kind of like get used to it and try different ideas. And it's like looking in a mirror musically. You can listen right back to what you've done, or change the composition and listen back to it. And great way to work, and a great way to get comfortable in the studio. And when we finally went in, we just laid the tracks down and it felt good. And I think that's the way to make records nowadays.
Definitely. So it doesn't have that overproduced feel. It's more like if you listen to the album and you listen to the show, it's kind of one and the same.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not even overproduction. Sometimes if you're not, used to a studio situation, you're suddenly hearing things in a way that you didn't hear them in your rehearsal space. You're like, oh shit, oh, that's what that sounds like. And then you adjust to that. So what we did was we made our adjustments ahead of time, and a lot of times bands get in the studio and they're like, oh, let's fix this, let's fix that, let's fix this and that, and let's tune that, and we didn't do any of that stuff. So we just that's what I mean by organic.
It's already there.
Yeah, we've already done that work on ourselves, you know what I mean, because we can listen back and sort of produce it ourselves. So this was a real collective effort from the band, which is different than Wake Pig, where I produced that record. I went over that record note for note with a fine-tooth comb, and it's nice to do that if you have the time. But this time around, I had a different concept.
Awesome. So you come from a very musical family. How did you kind of come to be a songwriter?
It's definitely in my blood. Wrote my first song when I was like 3 years old, and I don't know. I always had this wellspring of melody and ideas and lyrics that was just always coming out one way or another. My dad's a great guitar player and singer, and music was always all around me. And my brother Josh is a great drummer, a singer, a hip hop artist. He does it all. He's super talented. And my uncle's out in San Francisco, and he's just a total punk rocker. So between the four of us, we really cover a lot of ground genre wise. But the thing we have in common is like this passion for music, and it's what we love to do. So I was lucky. My parents nurtured us. We rehearsed in the basement for years, and without that, you really can't get to the next level of your playing without that kind of support. So I feel lucky that I had that.
Definitely. So if you could think of anything besides music as a career, what would it be?
Anything besides music?
I guess the sign didn't work.
Yeah, I guess it didn't. I would have to say it would be something in the visual arts, because I started as a visual artist doing a lot of comic books and stuff like that, and I kind of hit a crossroads where I was like, am I going to put my energy into this or that? And I was doing both for a long time, and I just kind of went the musical path. But it would definitely be something in the arts.
Cool. So in terms of touring, you have family back home. How do you kind of deal with being on tour and the family?
Well, it's a duality. I love to be at home with my wife. It's there's nothing that great, but being out on the road is it's what I do. It's what I was built for. So when it comes time to do that, that's what I got to do.
What's your favorite part about touring?
Favorite part about touring? Well, honestly, my favorite part is the that small chunk of time you get on stage every night. That's what it's all for.
Right.
And it's funny. It's like everybody says in rock and roll, hurry up and wait. Well, it's all about this little moment on stage, and just where you just get to be yourself and just let it out, and keeps you sane, keeps you from losing it, and that's what I love. I love seeing places, and gives you a perspective on the world.
How do you go about preparing to go on stage right before?
Well, tonight I didn't get to prepare at all. Tonight was a little crazy. Normally I have a couple of rituals that I do. I suck on Ricola, because I'm a singer, and I do a vocal warm-up that's pretty much guaranteed to freak anybody out. So I'll show you guys. It's basically like you're stretching out your vocal cords so that you can walk out there. You grab your tongue and you pull it out and you yodel. So if you ever hear the sound,
means you're somewhere near.
occupied.
Can I grab my bag?
Can you wait like a
5
few minutes? But anyway, yeah, that's how I warm up.
Cool. So I was on your website, and you guys have a link to George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars.
Oh yeah.
What's your relationship to those guys?
Well, Michael Clip Payne, who's been in P-Funk for 25 years or whatever, he moved to Woodstock back in like 2000, and we ended up doing a session together, and we just became friends. And started working together, and he kind of put an offshoot band, like a P-Funk, some of the guys from P-Funk and some of the guys from Woodstock, and he kind of put together like this all-star band. So, it was just a great experience for me to be included in that, and I got to go on tour, opening shows for George Clinton and P-Funk, and being in a band with Gary Scheider, Gary Star
Right.
Scheider, and Lige Curry on bass, and I don't think a lot of guys on the rock side of the fence have necessarily had that kind of experience, and I draw on it all the time because the locomotion and the syncopation of that music is just so brilliant and so powerful that you know, I always want that to be a part of what I do.
Yeah.
You know, so love those guys, and you know, it's awesome to work with. I mean, to sing with them.
Yeah.
And you got like 10 people on stage, and every one of them can sing their ass off, and you all sing together. There's nothing like that in the world, man. It's awesome.
Kind of makes you step up your game and just make sure you're on on par.
Yeah, it makes you step up your game, but you also absorb. There's like an osmosis. You're around someone that's, you know, that's been there and that's done that, and you're not even thinking about it, but you just start absorbing that, you know, and just to have the chance to absorb that for me is great, big part of, you know, who I am and what I do.
Definitely. So you also have kind of a solo side project. What kind of differences between Three and your solo work are there?
Well, I'm, you know, like I said, there's a wellspring for me of music, and I write a lot of songs, and not all of them make sense for Three, you know. Three, it's just got to be a certain kind of energy for Three, and I do a lot of soul stuff and a lot of stuff that comes from that P-Funk side of things, and that's not always right for Three. And I also write a lot of folky type songs, and then I write songs that are like, kind of are meant to be distilled down to just an acoustic guitar and a vocal, and it's, you know, and there are even moments of that on the latest Three record too. But so, you know, I used to try to make Three be everything, you know, everything that I am, but instead of doing that, I let Three be what it is, and let the other things, you know, kind of fall where they may.
Cool. Well, definitely appreciate the time.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And great set again.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the tour. Where are you guys going from after this?
We're going to Oakland, and then Portland, who knows after
Everywhere else?
In and out of Canada, and across the Midwest, down the East Coast.
Awesome. So where can people find out a little bit more about the band if they want to know?
You know, good place to go is myspace.com/3, just the number. Easy to remember, or you can go to our official website, you know, theband3.com.
Is that spelled out?
It's spelled out or just the number. Either one works.
It's cool. All right. Well, thanks again.
Oh, you got it, man.
Definitely enjoyed it.